Mic check. Oh my god. Just as you go live, you get like, you need to sneeze? Really? Really, stream? Really, internet? All right, let's have a quick look if anyone's going to be joining tonight. While we wait on that, I'll sip my tea and think about what we shall talk about. It's actually been a pretty quiet news cycle. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I thought there'd be, what is this day, like 5, 6, or 7 or something into the Trump administration. Audio sounding good. I'll give myself a thumbs up. And it is day 100. Oh my god, 100. 1884. And I can't help but think. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day. Either it was in the voice chat or it was in just the Telegram chat rooms. It was before Spaces became popular. Just people just generally chatting about. Can you imagine at the end of the 15-year stakes, people who stake, at the beginning, we could be going into a new monetary sort of financial system for the world. Now, we are kind of seeing similar stuff being rolled out across the planet, where for some reason everyone just loves this crypto stuff. Oh, also, happy Chinese New Year. It's the year of the snake. Whatever that means. Oh, that does remind me. I'll pull up that speech. I think Trump read this one out. We'll begin with this. Now, this is from the snake poem. Oh, this is sending me cold chills. It was. We'll see if I can share audio. In the year of the snake. This might be fitting. I'll give Donald J. Trump a subscription. Yes, I shall. Now, will the audio pick up? That is a good question. Audio. Share this tab. Make sure that audio is nice and loud. Now, the question is, will it pick up the audio?
Yes, on this very windy night, speaking of that.
It's probably not going to pick it up. All right, I'll put a link in the description.
Do a thing that we used to do during the campaign. I'll do it. Has anyone heard of the snake? Have you heard it? Should I do it? So this has to do with this subject. And it's been a long time since I've done this one, but so many people are asking, you ready? The snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She wrapped him up, all cozy, in a comforter of silk, and she laid him by the fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night. As soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But I hadn't brought you in by now. You know you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You knew your bite was poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Trump 2024, year of the snake. Low. Sorry, 2025, year of the snake, but how funny. How funny I would remember that particular stream uh, that particular video all these years later. All right. Now, moving on. So crypto has recovered ever so slightly. Whoa, that's a giant face right there. Now, let's share my particular media. We share the screen. We got cryptocurrency. We got some people here. Welcome, people. All right, so we got what do we got? We got crypto recovering. It's above the 100K. It's going to hover. We got Ethereum doing a little bit of recovery, but from that massive sell-off, it hasn't performed too bad, really. Now, closer to home, because I got nothing against you other guys in the cryptocurrency world, but you have to prove to me what it is you are doing for free speech and the right to assemble, and freedom of movement. I'm not seeing a lot. I mean, yeah, you got some cool words coming from some founders, but I'm not so sure, other than obviously you're doing a good job and, your ticket's existing, performing price-wise, whatever. But like I said, maybe I'm just not researching enough, but I don't feel, except for the Trump meme coin, that's pretty funny. But okay, yeah. Ethereum, yeah, okay. I mean, there is some stuff out Ethereum Classic, I guess. Stables, maybe. Got some L2s, a little bit cheaper. We got some Moneris for the privacy. We've got some DAIs, still doing its thing. Maybe Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. Maybe some SHIB. I don't know. It's not all hate because, if I hate you, you're going to hate me back. So we can't end up being like that, can we? We go full Bitcoin maxi, but then it's like, hang on, what can you build on crypto? Why would I choose to build on Bitcoin one instead of Ethereum or Pulse Chain or Solana even? I don't know. It's like, why are they releasing L2s to make cheaper fees? Because L2s are cheaper than Ethereum fees. Okay. Maybe that's a use case, maybe, just maybe, people might find Pulse Chain eventually, if they ever get listed anywhere. Now, Pulse Chain has recovered a little bit. HEX is doing its thing. INC is doing its thing. Pulse X is very, very tempting because I'm wondering if, say you're farming INC token, you're not then turning the INC into more INC farms, which is also very tempting. Which one's worth buying? Is Pulse X and its burn feature just going to continue to become more scarce and then sort of outperform everything? Like, what if Pulse X does the 10,000X first, or does a 10,000X first, along with INC and then along with HEX? Like, what if it pulls everything up? I'm not sure. For the moment, obviously, it's looking a bit weak, but kind of getting a bit closer. At one stage, it was like 2 for 1, and now it's sort of like close to 0.5, and then this one's like 0.68. Oh, no, hang on, 0.33. Not quite. What do we got? EX still doing its thing. But, like I said, it's a bit of a quiet day today. Like, I'm just seeing more interest stuff. Stuff I'm interested in. What else? DeepSeek. All right. Let's go have a look at crypto. This is kind of, I cannot sneeze, the thing I'm thinking is worth looking at. I think, I could be wrong, but I think maybe, just maybe, we could see the new monetary financial system being slow rolled out. Now, is it going to be 100% CBDC? I don't think so, because we've seen an executive order pointing out that maybe that's not a good idea. Because if ever a government, whether they be, whether they have good intentions or not, a central bank digital currency sounds like an absolute nightmare for the freedoms of the people who reside under it. Maybe you get to the top and you decide, I'm above the law, but then that becomes a dictatorship, correct? So I don't think we're going to be seeing that in, countries like the US, Australia, all those sort of countries. But I do think that there is already in place mini systems that sort of act like the central bank digital currency, and mini systems that act sort of like mass surveillance. Now, for insurance purposes, that's great because if there's cameras everywhere, you can see what's going on. But if you're walking around and you're picking your nose and you get a fine for picking your nose, then you start going, hang on, this might have gone too far. That's not where you want to go. That's not where you want to be. So the point of a new monetary system to me would be to be an improvement on the current monetary system. Now, the current monetary system, there is some issues. One main thing I can think of is the valuation of the dollar. It also has basically been for many years dominated by the US dollar, gold, not the gold standard, but the petrodollar. BRICS are doing their thing, slowly catching up, if not surpassing. You see, there's many countries in there that have massive capabilities. I don't think World War III is going to take place because then it'll just destroy everything. Things like countries like China are like we saw with DeepSeek, basically focusing, in my opinion, on being powerhouses economically. So why would there need to be a war if you could destroy all that? It makes little sense. Like that, what would be the end result? Maybe we could ask DeepSeek about that. But I think that if we get, again, this is my opinions. Nothing is. This is all an unofficial manner in regards to everything. None of this is paid for. But if we see something like a federal Bitcoin Reserve Act, then you can't help but wonder what would the price of cryptocurrencies be, specifically the token in question, which would be Bitcoin. But what would the other tokens do if somehow, this is funny because Bitcoin was created, why? Because to get rid of middlemen, and because of the global financial crisis, and because what? Why was it created? Now Bitcoin is looking to be, a federal Bitcoin Reserve Act. How many years later? Like 16 years later. So I took a whole 15-year stake to come to a new monetary system, right? More, 16 years. So what's going to happen at the end of a 15-year stake? Very interesting, isn't it? Now, if this does get rolled out, you're looking at $1 million Bitcoin. I can't help but think maybe, just maybe, things like Ethereum, other L1s as well, would then sort of be taken more seriously by people who once laughed at it or called it, rat poison squared, or big large institutions that are chomping at the bit to try and get and figure out how to make money off this stuff. And when they figure out there's some money to be made in DeFi, maybe just maybe we see some of their money, their energy come over to us here in the Pulse Chain ecosphere. Welcome. Who is Pulse Chain? We are all Pulse Chain. Who is HEX? We are all HEX. Right? Now, the next thing, if we saw $1 million Bitcoin, because people are already saying at the end of 2025, we're looking at 250K Bitcoin. So that would only be a forex from there, assuming no Bitcoin Reserve Act is rolled out, or say capital gains tax are reduced to zero, or some very favorable sort of tax policies come out, which then reflects on the entire crypto space across the entire planet. Because at the moment, pretty sure there's some places that are more tax friendly. If the whole world all of a sudden becomes tax friendly, and people understand how to deal with the cryptocurrency, and people understand how to make money off cryptocurrency, excuse me, then okay, go away, sneeze. Then, maybe, just maybe, we will see some prices we might not have thought were once possible. We did see HEX to a 10,000x. Now, are we going to see a 10,000x on Pulse Chain, PulseX, or INC? I don't know. But what sort of access have we seen on Bitcoin and Ethereum and every other token that's covered on CoinMarketCap? For the majority over long term, who is still around that does exist. We've seen some huge gains. Do not be surprised if Pulse Chain, Pulse X, INC, and HEX do absolutely insane things, and everything else on Pulse Chain, all the other, or most of the other meme tokens that are actually legitimate have like sufficient LP to function, because that's kind of important as well. But most of that stuff, I can't help but think, will be somewhat successful. I think there was a tweet recently how much X's has PETA even done. I mean, if only people were talking about that earlier that were listened to, maybe, just maybe, there would have been some more gains, but nobody listened. I don't know why. Now, staking, HEX staking. Why? Why do it? Well, in the very short term, when paired against LP providing and getting INC, HEX staking is actually not performing so well unless we see some very interesting moves in regards to the HEX price. And if you like to have something that produces more of itself, the whole T-share thing, whereas if you're pooling in LP, you're getting a higher return technically, if you look at it that way, but you're giving up impermanent loss, and also you're actually getting a different type of token, which is INC token. And do you really care about INC token? Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you want to buy other things with it that can produce more. Because if you were then able, lots of ifs, if you were able to provide LP, and if you were able to get INC, and if you were able to provide more LP with the INC, then once you get that INC, then if you were able to buy any token that you like, maybe, just maybe, I'm not sure if that would work, but would that not pull up the price of that particular token? I don't know. But then is that a snake eating itself slowly? Because you probably want to attract new money and show them how to make more money, but without destroying the price against yourself, because you don't really want to. If other people are buying your stuff and pumping your bags, it's going to be harder for you to buy your own stuff. So kind of a catch-22. At the moment, when you're kind of new to this space, and you're not really sure what all of this is, you may not be hearing about things like Pulse Chain. So maybe, just maybe, the question is, do I want to tell people who are wealthy, do they have the ability to understand what I'm saying? Do they have the risk tolerance? And do they want to really ape into this stuff? Arguably, I don't know, because they would understand Bitcoin better. They would understand Ethereum better. But for some reason, when you explain to them what Pulse Chain is, they go, okay, we're going to buy it from a particular exchange. Maybe they can't, Maybe it becomes frustrating, and maybe it becomes like the Trump meme token all over again. I think the Molina token did it a little bit different with some of their links, which was interesting, exposing them to Solana's decentralized exchanges, if they are that. But it's not through lack of trying, I tell you. But I am personally not comfortable talking about this sort of stuff to other people, just in case they have a misunderstanding, or in case the price doesn't go in one way. And how do you explain to them? It's like, do you want to buy this Pulse Chain and sit on it, or do you want to buy it and provide LP and get XYZ yield? And then you have to explain to them, like, how are you going to keep track of all this? How are you going to keep it safe? What if they lose their keys? What if they lose their computer? What if they get hacked? It'll be all your fault for explaining that to them, even though you understand it, I understand it, but for some no coiners, it's probably pretty difficult stuff. So you kind of want the one-click button. You kind of want the centralized exchange listing. But then the problem you face then is you have to pay for that. And who's paying for that? This is all like DeFi stuff. This is not your normal cryptocurrency, people. Now, I think I've bored everyone enough with that, because that's just my ramblings for the day. I just don't know, other than bias, how this price is going up. Um, I wonder what to do with INC token. Does the INC token improve the particular what's it called? Does it improve the if I take INC and buy Hex, is that a good move? If I take INC and buy Pulse Chain, is that a good move? If I take INC and buy Pulse X, is that a good move? How do I disperse my particular INC token? Because to me, if you're in the Pulse Chain ecosphere, maybe just maybe one of the objectives might be to obtain control over the INC token. Maybe, just maybe. Another would be to buy lots of Pulse Chain, become a validator, and help keep the network stable and ticking over. Yes, of course. Pulse X, you've got the buy and burn feature. A lot of people would be using the Pulse X decentralized exchange, one of the deeper ones. There's a lot of other stuff out there on Pulse Chain, which I'm not aware of. I basically don't cover it. So there's lack of my understanding. So maybe I'm missing out on some mad, fat, juicy gains. I don't know. I'm not sure how the loan protocols are going with their sacrifices. I'm not sure how. I think there's a page somewhere that used to have all the sacrifices. I lost track, but I'm just in shock how much my capital energy was given away, especially given the stable pools over on Pulse X, which give about 10% last I checked. So maybe just maybe some of those sacrifice funds, could have been. People always talk about the use of some mystery wallet somewhere and how it should be used to pump their bags. It's like, okay, if you apply that to other projects who got some sacrifice funds, maybe just maybe they could be then putting that into some stable pool somewhere and then using the rewards that stables from that to buy up the price of their token and pumping their bags and enriching all their holders. But to me, that sounds like a lot of expectations, a lot of work of others, etc. So I just wonder, I just wonder. Infinite price go down is not good. We see the death of HEX. We see, not the death of HEX, ever since there was a tweet, for some reason people took that as some sort of market signal. When there was another tweet saying, if you want the price of the HEX to go up on Pulse Chain, like this tweet, and everyone liked it. The price didn't do shit. It was the actions of people who were reacting to a tweet in one way, but yet for another. Sound fast and dull. Thank you for tuning in. There's obviously nothing else going on. But then if people were, what was I saying? Yeah, basically I'm saying the sacrifice funds. People have all these. Someone's going to pump their bags for them. But then what about these other projects who had sacrifices? Maybe they could do the same thing. I don't know. If it was that easy to do, wouldn't everyone be doing it? And wouldn't the price of HEX already be $100? And INC would be 10,000, and Pulse would be $1, and Pulse X would be 20,000. Right now, if that happens, I'm not so sure people are going to be. They might be streaming, but maybe they'll be streaming from their private mansions as opposed to their office. Maybe they give up and retire. But this is I'll get to this. So we've got this here, right? So this was like 4 days ago. Something about the central bank digital currency being barred from being created, which is good. Now, if you just go over here, banning central bank digital currencies, which is good. Is going to be abused by big banks as a social credit score where they can freeze your money for wrong thing. Huge day of freedom. Now, I actually think big banks, it wasn't going to be big banks that were going to issue this. It was going to be government that issues this. And the banks would have been in competition with the central bank digital currency. So the banks would have been like, hang on, we don't want this we want our own central bank digital currency. So it's more likely to me that banks are going to create some sort of digital token, if not already, and that's going to be used to track and trace everyone, as it already is with, I don't know, majority of stable coins on any network. People who aren't allowed to use privacy software or choose not to, or whatever reasons they have. Now, That being said, we'll look at the actual executive order here. Now, people have already looked at this. I'm just revisiting. Uh, Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology, Executive Order, January 23, 2025. So it's old news now. But it's been a bit quiet, so I thought we'll have another look. Now, this is the section that I do like. It is protecting and promoting the ability of individual citizens and private sector entities alike to access and use for lawful purposes open blockchain networks without persecution, including the ability to develop and deploy software, to participate in mining and validating, to transact with other persons without unlawful censorship, and to maintain self custody of digital assets. Now, as I was mentioning before, I can't help but think whoever's being advised on this sort of stuff may have a decent understanding of cryptocurrency. Because as I read that, I can't help but think um, I could imagine, for instance, the founder of HEX saying that sort of thing to the word, to a T. And it would not surprise me if the founder of HEX would like this particular, statement issued from the White House of all places, from the leader of the free world, arguably, unless you ask Deep Seek. Apparently, the leader is China, but anyway, that's a bit of bias built into that one. So that is pretty interesting. I can't help but think this is the beginning of the new monetary system. Maybe, just maybe, we are actually at the forefront, or we are actively participating in a shift towards a more free and open ability to transact without persecution, on blockchain, and the ability to mine, to validate, to transact with other people without unlawful censorship. That is, to not be removed from whatever centralized exchanges, market cap listings, and possibly, the next thing we could see would be a really positive sort of tax announcement. Maybe there's better tax treatment of cryptocurrencies, better treatment of capital gains, better treatments of income. Or maybe all of a sudden it's just no tax. If there was no tax, I look like a head talking here, like in a jar. If there was no tax on cryptocurrency, I do believe that maybe, just maybe, would you see a boom? I'm not so sure. But what you would see is people understanding that maybe, just maybe, there'll be less of a hassle dealing with cryptocurrency. Because one of the things I think about is always the risk of, have I recorded this correctly? Going back, using all the software, explaining this to people. So one of the honest reasons I did not buy the Trump meme coin was, I was like, how is this going to look on chain to me? And so I was going to do what? I wonder. I do wonder. Now, what's it called? What next? So, if a new monetary financial system was to take place, and we were to see, the deployment of things like HEX and Ethereum Pulse Chain become not targets of persecution, then across the board, every single development of cryptocurrency would be, appreciated. Money likes to go where it's treated best, and if we do see some decent returns, and we do see favorable treatment of it, it would make sense that people would most probably try and copy some aspects of tokenomics or whatever, build their own thing, try to make their own games or pump their own bags, which is fine. But it would really prove a point that cryptocurrency is actually here to stay. If people actually believe in the freedom of speech, they believe in freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, and all that stuff. They actually believe in that, and then they actually believe that they can run their own validators. They actually believe that they can make money with this stuff and make a new life for themselves. Then I can't see why you would want to censor it into oblivion, persecute into oblivion, or basically target and demonize any individual who even speaks about such sort of cryptocurrencies. It makes little sense to me to sort of attack the freedom of speech on the blockchain, the freedom of speech in the financial world, the freedom of speech, in online. It just doesn't make sense to me why it is that the persecutors were going so hard after cryptocurrency. I can understand the fraud aspect of it, but I just can't understand the reason why people um, can't differentiate between what is a clear, or why they can't differentiate between tokenomics and why they can't differentiate between actual scams that just do not exist. If you have a look at the Trump meme coin, the tokenomics behind it, if you have a look at the Haktor meme coin, uh, they actually have tokens that exist, and they actually have, you know, they actually exist on chain. So if people are then dumb enough, like if they're dumb enough to engage in such things and get wrecked on it, whose fault is it? It's like it's as simple as that. But to stifle the innovation behind cryptocurrency because you see some Haktua lady somewhere try and release a token who may not understand cryptocurrency so well and not understand the liquidity aspect of it and may not understand a big whale comes in, buys it all up, and then just dumps on everyone's head in perpetuality. That's not really a reason in my mind to demonize an entire sector. Doesn't look good, looks awful, but I think this is the whole point. Just let the free market decide. Let the citizens decide of the world. Let us all decide if we want to participate in a blockchain for lawful purposes without persecution, allowing us to uh, use software that has been developed and deployed, and allow us all to participate in mining and validating and transacting with other persons without unlawful censorship. So you can't have someone come in and blacklist addresses because they bought some Haktua token and traded it with some other tainted Bitcoin somewhere along the way. Like, how is that? It makes no sense. If, of course, there is actual evidence of like some nefarious means, as you say here, it's like for lawful purposes, like they like some, I don't know, I know, like some bad people doing bad things, and they track and trace it, and they track it back to them and go, okay, well, they are actually doing bad things. Then maybe, just maybe, you would, look at that and go, okay, we're not going to be censoring this shit, but because we have the ability to track and trace everything, we're going to find it, and then that information will most likely be used, as it most likely already is. So that way, it's not demonizing the entire cryptocurrency bunch of holders, all because one person or one group of people does bad things. Like that's usually how freedoms are lost, because the nanny state kicks in and says, "Oh, the cryptocurrency was used for one bad thing, one place in the world. We're gonna ban it everywhere." It's like, okay, what about cash? Like, oh no, cash is fine. We're just gonna. By the way, we're getting rid of cash. It's like, hang on, what? So yeah, if central bank digital currencies um, have been banned, that's good. But if central bank digital currencies from a bank issued from a bank haven't been banned, then that's not so good, because you won't notice it. It'd be like, it can't be a central bank digital currency issued from government, but a bank, that's fine. But yeah, I can't see that happening anyway, because a central bank digital currency makes little sense in terms of releasing all their data on chain. The Maybe they can find a network which it runs on, but doesn't Visa or Mastercard have faster like transactions per second than the majority of cryptocurrencies at the moment? I know there was one more recently that had some insane level of TPS, but most of them probably couldn't handle a network like that. What else? What else? What else? So basically, cryptocurrency, when used for lawful purposes, um, it does appear as if it's been given somewhat the green light. It does appear as if it's not going to be, people aren't going to be censored for using it. It appears that people who innovate in the space will not be stifled out of existence, and that is a good thing, especially if later on some favorable tax laws come to be. But the fact that already it's sort of being recognized as a legitimate purpose, a legitimate source of gains, income, whatever, maybe that's enough in itself to sort of get the ball rolling in the right direction, especially if banks sort of ease off on it, I guess, because sometimes they just see cryptocurrency and red flags automatically appear because they associate crypto with scam. Maybe they're going to have to learn as well, like as much as most Hexicans know in terms of what crypto is, um, how it can be used, and then how people would possibly use it for not nefarious means, but if someone's like, "What's up?" on some scam app, and they're like, "Send me all your cryptocurrency, bro," and then someone goes and drains their bank account, it's like, okay, yeah, that's bad. But then if you're like buying cryptocurrency yourself and you get told you can't, it's like that's kind of just annoying. Like, um, what was I talking about? But yeah, what do we got? Um, the funny thing is now Trump is telling the deep state, "You're fired." Lol. It's like some stuff that's coming through. It's like green new scam is imploding before our eyes. Even the Fed is out of it. So they're out of the green new scam. They're all into cryptocurrencies. Intel chiefs who lied to protect Biden have their clearances revoked. Okay. Trump is telling the deep state, "You're fired." Low. Probably worth reading. Tariffs are coming not all at once, but they're coming. Okay. And this is weird. Even after Biden's pardon, Fauci may still face jail time. Why is that? Why is it someone who did nothing wrong, why is it they're going to face jail time and they get a pardon? Anyway, not really cryptocurrency related. I'll see if I can find anything else for you guys. Let's have a look. Did the AI bubble just pop? I'm pretty sure that's like DeepSeek. What else? What else? Not too much, people. Not too much. Yeah. Recapping Bitcoin price. Bitcoin Act. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin Act. Ooh, DeepSeek. Everyone loves it, DeepSeek. Ooh. Very good. All right. I haven't got time for that. I haven't got time for that. What have I got time for? Thank you for tuning in. There's more of you. Now, I'm not sure I have anything new to bring. Just that crypto is not going anywhere. If anything, it's become sort of deeply embedded in the ecosystem that is legacy finance, which is funny because legacy finance is actually dying, but it's probably more profitable than ever because if you bought some gold, like back in when it was like, I don't know how the price of gold looks like $100 an ounce or whatever, and you record it, then if you look at the price of gold now, you're probably doing okay, right? If you bought stocks and held it for like however many years, you're probably doing okay, right? If you bought Bitcoin and held it for like 16 years, maybe you're doing okay. If you held fiat, maybe you're not doing so good. And now we're seeing the rollout of banning of central bank digital currencies, and I can't see anyone coming in to power and then telling everyone, "Oh, we just rolled out this executive order, and we're rolling out a central bank digital currency." Everyone will be like, "Wait, didn't that get sort of banned out because no one liked the idea of that?" And then the argument would be really interesting to see. That argument that would be like, "Oh no, we need the central bank digital currency." It's like, wait, the world like didn't want the central bank digital currency because we thought maybe it might be too much control to the government. And the government would come in and be like, "No, we're coming in and we're going to give you all central bank digital currency credit scores." That would go down real well, wouldn't it? So I think that's probably a positive, putting the light on that. I do, and again, I think it's also positive that this here pointing out that if someone was to come in and roll out an executive order saying, "I think what's the complete opposite of this? Let's persecute and let's attack the people and the private sector who are accessing cryptocurrency for lawful use, and let's persecute them, and let's censor them into oblivion. That would not go down well for the entire sector. It would make little sense, especially if somehow cryptocurrency is now deemed some sort of innovation, even though it's been here for like, or you go back into it, it's like, is Bitcoin really good tech? Anyway, but then you could look at it and be like, is cryptocurrency really good innovation, or is it sort of, what am I trying to say here? Is it like super high level, amazing tech that's better than Visa and MasterCard and has a network that is far superior than them? Or is it more about people getting together, individuals and citizens alike, for lawful purposes, using and creating blockchain networks without persecution? Personally, I think it's about that. Similar to Bitcoin, although Bitcoin you can't really build much on it, etc. Maybe I'm just I don't know enough about it, but I'm pretty sure you can't. That's why things like Ethereum came out, other L1s, you can actually build things on them, Pulse chain, etc. But I can't help but think that pointing these things out is good, because then people have to read and understand this, because this is not just like some random obscure blog somewhere. This is like actually from the White House pointing this stuff out. So people, if they are interested, need to sort of read this and absorb this and understand what is taking place here, because what we do now affects the future timeline. You know, like if you never plant that seed and never water it, it's not going to grow. So it's very good, and I hope we're going in the right direction, and I hope all the crypto people out there like myself, we all get mad rich, and we can like lift up everyone around us. You know, the cup, you got to fill up your own cup before you can fill up others. Now, what else? So it's not that, you know, cryptocurrency itself, in my opinion, like Bitcoin, has overthrown the entire credit card or banking system. It's just pointed out that it's worked. The concept clearly works. The price has gone through the roof. It's worked so hard that the thing it was designed to sort of object against, I don't know what you even call it, but the thing, which is the banking system, which failed so hard, has now said that the thing that was released because we were failing so hard, we're going to use the thing that was released because we're failing so hard to then fail less hard. It's like at that point, I think they've won. Like I think Bitcoin has won that battle. Has it actually won the battle? Because, you know, is it ideal to have the banking system using Bitcoin, like with the same tools that sort of Bitcoin was kind of objecting against, pointing out the issues with it. Not really objecting against per se, but when global financial crisis took place, I mean, there's not like mortgage-backed Bitcoin, not yet. But when, you know, the banking system is engaging with crypto, and now it's been like the floodgates are open, and now central bank digital currencies aren't coming anytime soon, and now crypto seems to be like, it feels like the floodgates are going to be slowly like released, and we're going to see some insane shit in cryptocurrency, and we're going to see some insane shit in the price of Bitcoin, and most likely we're going to see some insane shit in the price of Ethereum, and then the flow-on effect, most likely, if Bitcoin can do, what is it now, 100K? A 10x. A 10x. If Bitcoin does a 10x, maybe we should all buy Bitcoin, and then maybe get the 10x, and then come over and buy Pulse chain, and buy PulseX, and buy INC, and buy HEX, and then we'll see some like 100x, 1000x or something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not so sure what the price of HEX and Pulse chain and PulseX and INC is all going to do, because I can see this crash coming. At the same time, either or, we saw prices tank in unison, the tech sector and Bitcoin, because now apparently Bitcoin's tied in to the tech sector, maybe because of the hardware for mining. I don't know. But if we see correction, large correction in the stock market, maybe Bitcoin, I don't know. Um, but then by the end of the year, it's absolutely pumping. What do you think the price of Pulse and Pulse X, INC, and HEX is going to do? I'm not so sure. I've seen a lot of negativity on X, um, pointing out, oh, it's a failed, blah blah blah. And I do remember like dwelling, lurking in like spaces and things like that, and just hearing the what's it called? The awful things people were talking about the founder. Now I don't know if they said it to his face, but I'm sitting back listening, going, "How can you people be so cold, be so cruel?" But then you sort of go through things in life, and I guess you can understand, well, not understand, but people are going to be people, right? But people need to remember, like, if once you say shit like that, and if people understand or hear or heard that you say that, you can hurt them, right? And if you hurt them, maybe they're not going to be a friend anymore. Maybe you hurt someone enough, they no longer want to. They never want to see you again. You get like ultimate ghosted into oblivion, right? So I'm not saying that the entire. I don't misconstrue these words. I'm saying there was brief instances where I've noticed people critiquing XYZ or whatever, and then I can't help but think that's not like what a friend would do. You'd probably, if you could, you might tell them or whatever. You disagree, whatever. Um, but when you say it behind people's back, it's not so good. And then I was relating that to things like in real world, if you like upset your friends in the real world, like what would happen, right? And I just can't help but think, I'm like, so many times it's like people don't understand the other side. Like they're so caught up in their own, like, whatever's going on in their world. They don't think from the other side, like what's going on here. And they react. They want what's best for them. They don't care about what's going on with the other person. They could care less. And so I just wonder, like, um, I do wonder. I hope the founder's doing good, man. Like, it's been ages since we heard from him, and then like you see all this like FUD media. You see even the community basically somewhat the wheels are falling off. We see the price not at all time high. We see the price of Pulse X down. INC is doing okay relative to the rest of the stuff. And I can't help but think people just sit around whinging and complaining, like, why isn't this pumping? Why is this happening to me? Why is my life so bad, or whatever? Or maybe they're not. Maybe in the Caribbean somewhere, just like sipping from a coconut, chilling because they just extracted mad value, right? That's also a possibility. But you look at you look at the Trump meme coin. There was only about 525 people that became millionaires off that thing. So I'm not sure how many millionaires were made in Hex, Pulse, and Pulse X so far. But I don't know. Does anyone know that number? That would be an interesting figure. It's probably hard to verify, but yeah, I'm not sure if 500 millionaires were made. 525 millionaires plus were made with Hex. I'm not so sure. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Current price would be good to know. But what would it take? What price would it have to be for every holder to become a millionaire? Have to be pumped pretty hard, wouldn't it? Interesting. I wonder what that figure is. No, anyway, moving on. Now I wonder what the figure is of people who became millionaires through holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Stable coins might be a bit easy to check out. This is stable price. What else? Now, what else we got, people? Crypto. What else? Oh, we killed the time, eh? We're just chilling. Discovered Trump coin. Crazy. Here we go. So for some reason, the big giant scare, right, caused a dip to last less than 24 hours and go back over 100k. Then what? Absence of Bitcoin panic selling suggests BTC drop 98k in a short-term blip. Okay, so maybe it would have been a good time to buy that. If we see a big giant sea of red, it's like, maybe it's a good time to sell. It's like maybe it's a good time to buy. Anyway, what do I know? Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, we see a swift price reversal. This is interesting. Oh, okay. So FMO meeting set to take place very soon. Okay. Well, I think that's about it, people. I just can't get over how well written this particular paragraph is, and how much I agree with it, and how much it could be applicable to so many things going on, being persecuted right now, without persecution right now. Oh yeah, didn't the former head of SEC resign on the, the day of the Trump getting in? Oh, I'm gonna miss that guy. Poor Gary. Reportedly, that is reportedly, because don't want Gary to come after me and be like, "Bro, you're making me sad, bro." Now, what else? Yeah, okay. So imagine that's interesting as well because it's pointing out protect Americans from the risk of central bank digital currencies with the threat of stability of the financial system, blah, blah, blah. So a central bank digital currency issued by some entity, government, or similar, maybe like some sort of global government coin, that would suck pretty hard because then you'd be subject to those particular requirements. At the moment, banks, they have their own stuff. To me, that would be objecting against the central bank digital currency because they would be missing out on, that would be cutting into them because central bank digital currency direct from whatever what's it, special drawing rights from the IMF, would completely cut out any profits to be made. So that would be kind of strange. But maybe the central bank digital currency would be more based on the retail issuance, like the citizens, that is, and keeping all of them under control, whereas the sort of the higher entities themselves and businesses would still function as normal, but there'll be some sort of digital ID that would sort of identify you and then allow you to buy and sell. So that businesses would be then affected by that as well. Also, I guess because there would be, need some rich millionaire who can't buy anything because they've been blacklisted by some central bank digital currency bullshit thing. That would then affect them, potentially creating black markets because they'll be like, well, how are we going to barter? Oh, we'll use XYZ, bloody corn cobs or something, to make trade. Like, yeah, anyway. That's the way I think of it anyway. Central bank digital currency would be a risk to individuals because they would be then subject to the powers that be. Also, though, the central bank digital currency would be like a way to close the gate on any sort of freedom. If you don't say the right thing, you get penalized, etc., etc. I guess at that point, it would be weird because then who would be issuing that power? Because the government itself would be issuing the central bank digital currency. People would be subject to it. But then who's pulling the strings? Like, it makes, like, where's the highest point? Where's the top of the pyramid? Who would guide the what you can and can't say, speak, think, or buy? Like, where would that be coming from? Like, what? So you get into government, and the whole point would be to get into government so you have a say in how to control the masses. That sounds crazy. And if there was like someone above, like say the IMF, a global entity, I say, for instance, the BRICS comes out with a bloody central bank digital currency, and everyone has to use the central bank digital currency to engage in trade. I can't see how that would work. Like, it'd have to be something above a government to issue a central bank digital currency on impose it on a government, because that would be the threat. Because then there would be some one world government, sound like a conspiracy theorist here, like New World Order sort of stuff, at which they would have to issue the central bank digital currency to every single nation on the planet, and then every nation on the planet would have to accept it, and every citizen would have to then adhere and abide by it. I would imagine through a wallet of some exchange, whether that be some biometric, whether that be retina scan, whether that be your DNA, right? Allowing you to buy and sell. That would be the most tyrannical thing I've ever heard. Like, that sounds like some alien invasion sort of level thing. Like, who would then be issuing this thing? Like, is it so? There's what is there? Is there something above the U.S. government that can issue upon to the U.S. government a central bank digital currency? Like, where is that coming from? So yeah, okay, IMF, like I said before, SDRs. Maybe that becomes digital. I can't. That's not the central bank digital currency. I don't think I'm thinking of. Like I said, I'm thinking of something that would actually, yeah, as I broke down before. That makes little sense. And the banks wouldn't want that, because the banks were like, hang on, where's this coming from? They're like, this is coming from above. Like, where's the above? Like, who's the bank of the banks? I don't know. Who owns all the banks, you know? Makes you wonder, that sort of stuff. Like, who's actually in control of the planet? Like, is it really like Trump? Is he really in control of all the US? Or is there some deep embedded network who has control and say of everything? I do wonder. I mean, it's similar with every country. Some are more open about controlling the citizens than others. Like China is more straightforward in terms of like, no, we don't want you to do anything. Here's what you can and can't do. If you don't do it, you get penalized. It's weird though, because it's very hard. I would imagine that in that environment, it's pretty hard for innovation. But maybe people just toe the line so hard and they get rewarded so hard for toeing the line so hard. That's how they're innovating. And that's why we're seeing things like DeepSeek being rolled out. Like, that's pretty messed up, isn't it? Like, maybe I don't know. I guess it's a fine line between too much freedom and you just go into like you erode into insanity. Like, you let the thing that you were trying to protect then takes over. You get all these insane policies allowing so much sort of, I don't know, transgenderism, maybe, like, is one example. Where like, and then you care so much about these little minor issues, and then groups form around these minor issues. And meanwhile, other countries are like just focusing on like, all right, let's just develop this, like, this tech, how we can do it cheaper, better, faster. And people are rewarded that hard to do it cheaper, better, faster. It's like a battle between what capitalism, which I prefer, and then whatever sort of China is. Like, what they're not like full communists, because they're functioning. That's the weird thing. Um, I don't know. I didn't get it. And like I said, everyone's different and X, Y, Z. But yeah, not something I think that's a bit above my pay grade. Not something I can sort of solve overnight. But imagine everyone using AI and just like blindly following AI. It's like AI has just controlled us. It's just controlled. It's just without us knowing. We just let it take over. I got to admit though, the DeepSeek thing does work a bit better than Grok. Grok does work better than Chat AI, Chat GPT. Sorry. Specifically more for social interactions and like trying to forecast the future. Like, I'm quite impressed by how it's working. Quite impressed. Now, what else have we got, people? Sorry, I haven't got much for you in terms of breaking news or what I think's happening, what I know is happening. Um, to keep getting these emails, man. Like, the big crash is coming. Whether or not that's relevant to crypto, I don't know. I'll have a look if there's anything else going on. news, but I'm not sure. Not sure, people. Not sure. There's not much, man. Like everything is just sort of stalled out. Maybe all the maybe there's some Trump news happening. I don't know. Maybe Trump got all these like stuff done early on. Everyone's just watching and waiting like me. I guess it's the fallout of all the executive orders that he's been signing. What's been going on? But yeah, HEX is still running. So, like I said, at the end of these 15-year stakes, we're going to be in a whole new monetary system. Whether that is extremely crypto friendly, I think it will be. But I'm trying to think. If crypto is able to run free and innovate freely, and then it creates whole new wealth for people who understand it, who are early to it, and use it properly and make mad gains from it. Then when they use their mad gains, how are they going to use the mad gains? It's going to be pretty interesting. Like, will it create a whole new sector of? Will it just help the service sector out because all these mad millionaires running around just like spending all money? Could be. I'm not sure. I'd love to see that scenario analysis rolled out. Like, what does a really rich person do once they get insanely rich with their cryptocurrency? Do they make a whole group of people who are around the world and they can communicate with each other and develop a utopia? Or do they go to Mars and join Elon? I don't know. I don't know. Or do they get politically involved and trying to, be pro crypto as possible, teach other people, maybe make some streams, I don't know, interact with other people and try and help other people get rich. Help, because you never know, it could belly flop and then the people you try and help end up being the people who come after you, which is, how many times we've seen that? Movie plots, real life, I don't know. What else? Or does it just point out it's like an escape hatch? Like they'll be like, oh, remember that guy who used to work here? He's gone now. What does he do? I don't know. He just does nothing. He's just mad rich. He's got like all this crypto and he just does nothing. It's crazy. He won. He won the game of life, and now he just has to learn how to live life and not spend all of his time working his 9 to 5 for the next 30 years to pay off his mortgage, then retire at the age of 60, 70, then get his pension for the next 10, 20 years, but wait till he dies. Huh. Problem is, the things he might want, maybe he can't get them, and the things everyone else, for the most, is working that lifestyle, 9 to 5, work till you die. And so what's left? A bunch of people on the internet? Hobos? Yeah, I don't know. Like other rich people who's funnily enough, when you see some people when they win the lotto, they tend to be miserable. Like they're mad rich and they're like sad and shit. I'm like, I don't get it. Why? But then people are money. They're saying money amplifies your traits. So if you're already sad, maybe you're super sad. But what if you're like horny and money amplifies? He's mad horny. that's quite possible. But yeah, like so then you just spend it. Yeah. What else? What if you're mad rich and then you're just obsessed with money, you just make more money? I don't know what I can do to change the world. How do we achieve type 1 civilization? We just support Elon, support Tesla, support Trump, build our way out of this. Do not know. Maybe I just use this DeepSeek to learn how to code something real good. Like I was like, all right, DeepSeek, keep making yourself better. Become full sentient or some shit. I don't know. And like be only used for goodness. Like, hey, wait on. Define good. What could good for one country be could not be so good for another country. Oh, good times is around the corner. Now, I don't disagree at all because I can't help but think if you have, say, had a small farm even, and you've just sort of sat on it, and you're waiting and waiting and watching. If you've been farming along, gaining more INC tokens, that is, you would probably have more right now. And if the price ever does do 1x, 10x, 100x, and you still got those tokens, is then a decision of what do I do with the money? Do I sell it, reduce the price? But then, like, what are you selling it for? Or maybe you're swapping it for, you know what I mean? Like, how are you exiting in an efficient way? To me, to me, if all this shit was worth like $1 billion, I would be thinking, all right, I'm not going to withdraw $1 billion. That's just insane. You like market dump the entire rug the price of everything. I would most likely have that many farms set up and then slowly transition into stable farms and get more of the stable farms and then use the stable farms to then maybe exit slowly because it's kind of maybe it's hard to kill a stable farm if you're swapping between stables. So if you're getting more stable and then you're selling the that stable, how do you murder the price of a stable pool? You know what I'm saying? Like if you're getting rewarded in stable, I guess if you're exiting out, you could be moving capital out. But if you're bridging out from a stable, I mean, I could be wrong here. Maybe it's not the worst thing to do. But then also, you could probably use the stables, and then you've got free. Like if you're in the casino, it's like house money. Is it house money? It's like the casino money. You know, you have $10, it turns into a million. Anything above $10, free money, right? You use that money, do whatever the fuck you want. You pump shit everywhere. I don't know, or you just keep farming. I mean, that's not exactly a bad problem to have at that point. But then it's like it has to be beneficial for you. So the beneficial move for an individual from a very selfish point of view, I think you have mad gains. What would you do? You'd lock in some gains into a stable, I would imagine, and then you would lock that into a stable pool. Then you would take the stable from that as some sort of income stream of some sort and do whatever you want with that. Whether that be cycle it back in, whether that be just buy some groceries, I don't know. I mean, of course, you could just keep working, but at what point is when you're earning more through crypto than you are through, say, your daily job? The question is why, other than for fun, interaction, mental stimuli. Um, like, wouldn't it make more sense to just keep doing that? And as long as you're not destroying the price of the thing you like, couldn't you then could you then use the stables that's coming out to then buy things that you like and create ladders of that thing that you like, and then as the ladders end, what would you do? Like stake more, skim more, sell it all, sell none, rinse and repeat. Like I wonder what the optimal play is. I guess most, well, smart people, smart-ish, smarter than I people, would be calculating this and going for the highest return mathematically. But the thing that they might not be counting or factoring in the variable could be the long-term longevity of the system. Now, what do I mean by that? So if you're mining Bitcoin and it's $1 a Bitcoin, $100 a Bitcoin, and you're mining it and then you're selling it, and you're like, okay, what do I do with all this $1, $100 Bitcoin? Not many people would have been like, I'm holding this for 15 years because in 15 years it's going to be worth, it's going to be worth like 100K a Bitcoin. And so that's probably not in people's like mindset. So in a similar fashion, I can't see people going, oh, I've got all this HEX. I'm going to just like put it away for like another year, 2, 3 years, or even like a few months, because they're not factoring in that, I don't think. Because I'm factoring in when the price does its thing, that exact point in time, the immediate gratification. So, okay, I've ended a stake. Now it's worth this much. And then what I do with it? It's like the ability is there to time lock. The ability there is to provide LP. The ability is there to put it into stables. The ability is there to rip it all out and hookers and blow, right? So, so um, the question is, what's your long term view? Now, that is a hard question because I don't know what the price of the thing that you stake will do. I know what the stable is going to do, but I don't know what the price of the pools are going to be. Like if you put it into stables, high yield, then risk permanent loss, etc., etc. Pulse X farms, not too bad. Raptor Ethereum pool is actually doing surprisingly well. Um, INC pool is doing okay as well. So maybe that's just I don't know. I don't know the future, so that's why I'm like paralyzed by trying to figure all this out, like overthinking things. Maybe I should just set a goal and then set the goal and then be like, all right, I need like X amount of K by this date. By any means possible, try and get it like legally, lawfully. And then once I hit that target, I go, okay, assess, was that target achievable? Was it difficult to do? Did it wreck me? Can I improve next target? Probably not a bad idea. Be like, okay, how can I get the most efficient way of getting there, etc., etc. What vehicle is good to use? What doesn't drain my capital completely? Because you could say, oh, I want to end this like thing here, and then hit your target. But then the next target, how are you going to double that? You know, maybe the performance of that thing doubles, and that's the easiest route. But you don't know the future of the price of that thing. It becomes a problem. And then if you do the LP game, the LP has been performing better, but you don't know what's going to happen. You could be in the wrong LP, not get shaken out. It could move severely against you. You could then get a decent return through INC, but then we lose out on all the impermanent, then lose out on all the impermanent the permanent gains from the pulse, for instance. If pulse just like moves hard, then we got this unknown with the big crash coming. Will pulse X, INC, and HEX follow suit with the rest of the market? Um, I'm not so sure if it will. If it was tempting, it's like, oh, just sell everything there. But what if you, what if you do that and everything dies, and then we see some insane gain? Like, not because that's like it's like imagining something that's not there. Like that might not happen. But how many times have we seen these insane candles in this ecosphere just do this? Problem is, but then you have the other problem. Everyone's selfish. Everyone's greedy. Um, well, not everyone's selfish, but people are in it for their own best interest, and they feel like they need the money now. And so you see this big candle does like a 10x, 100x. I will be going like tying my hands away from the computer to try not to sell some, because you would see mad numbers on your screen, and it takes quite the person not to hit that sell button because didn't want to hurt their brothers. I saw it. I saw it firsthand. Other people just like, fuck this, die, motherfucker, die. It's murdering the price. Uh, but yeah, that would be a good problem to have. I think it's more of a waiting game because as we wait, all of us, if you're invested in HEX or you hold your favorite tokens, whatever, and you're using it correctly, in my opinion, and you're getting more HEX, you're getting more INC, I can't really see how we're losing at this point. Yes, okay, if you bought in at sacrifice rates, and because it's not above sacrifice rates, you're sad. But then if you've been holding it for this long, I mean, maybe you got it in an LP somewhere, or maybe you're doing the whatever it is to get your yield or whatever. Maybe just sitting on it, just liquid. I don't know. I know I did for the longest time. I regret it. I missed out a lot of INC. Oof. But it's becoming easier. As I said, over time, the goals I'm trying to hit, it's becoming easier, which is good. I guess the ultimate goal would be seeing probably 100x to 1000x on HEX alone. 100x to 1000x on any of these tokens, like all in unison, game over. We will pretty much win if we can maintain that. I think we could. I can't see everyone emergency exiting like pre that. I mean, if they do, good on them. But you'd be sad because you've seen the images of you know, no one wants to buy HEX at this price. When it hits $1, everyone will be lining up at the door. When it hits $10, everyone will be like lining up at the door. It's like, you don't understand. You can just like you can get it and create more of it with itself. It's like it creates more of itself. That's a pretty cool concept. And it's like, oh, but the API is not secure. Yeah, but it creates more of itself. And it gets more scarce because of T-shares. Like, maybe people will appreciate the Pulse X scarcity once it kicks in as well. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe I'm absolutely delusional and this crypto's going nowhere and I'm going to be a driver with no car for the rest of my life. I don't know. I'll be the first Uber driver with a fighter jet. Well, no, one of those what are they called? The Ospreys. You know, the helicopters. Now, what's that? Oh, that's just my Mac is getting dropped, airdropped, care package style. Now what do we got? So while I've been waiting, I've fought it out probably 5 cents or so. You know, maybe 50 cents. So that's remember the goal. If you're not making money while you sleep, it's going to be hard to get rich. So this gives you an opportunity if you're new to cryptocurrency to make some money while you sleep, people. Literally while you sleep. If you have enough of HEX, if you have enough, you might be able to produce some decent amounts. Because I don't know what's better. One big giant HEX stake that you would roll, or one big giant one that's like all the way out to 555 and you're just like salivating over it because you're watching it, like the return, the how much you're getting, or having like ladders like all like staggered out. I'm not sure, because the really large one, if you're rolling that thing and the amount of yield you'd be getting from that would, even though technically it would be the same, but you're actually getting access to those little amounts. But then longer plays better, etc., etc. Like long term, you'll be missing out. But in the short term, you'll be getting this HEX. Oh my god! And you'll be creating more of it, and it'll be like compounding on itself, and that's really good performance. But remember, that's not going to outperform the longer ones, so that's going to be even better. But it's still going to be performing good though. Oh yeah, I don't know what to do, people. What to do? And the funny thing is, if you're providing LP, this is my take. If you're providing LP and you're getting more LP, and you decide the dollar cost average, if you decide the dollar cost average, and then you're creating more of these farms, it seems like it's going to nowhere. You're going to get these little bits and pieces. But then, say you want to sell some of this stuff, instead of selling the like XYZ token, if you pull liquidity, I guess you got to sell it anyway. But say you're pulling liquidity, and like it's already in the stable or whatever, you're swapping over to stable. I mean, that's still money. This is not bad. Like it's like some phantom savings account, because I was going through and going, holy shit, there's money still here. Like this is good. It's like while it's sitting there, it's producing, although it's lost some value. But depending on where you enter in, it's not bad. And when the time comes, maybe you want to cash out all your chips and leave the casino, you'll be leaving with a big shit ton of tokens. I'm telling you. And once you do that, congratulations, you've won, right? I don't think people, well, maybe people are doing that, but I don't think people are going to do that completely. Why would you leave somewhere where you just keep getting more and more tokens? Like, it makes no sense. And it's outperforming everything. But, you know, like, but what? But Trump token, Trump coin, or Belina coin, or shit, whatever. Yeah, you might make some mad gains, but then wouldn't you then park it somewhere where you can get some decent yield, like some stables or something? I don't know, people. What else we got? What? Crypto, what is this? Is it Argentina? No, that is country. That is. Do 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 do. This is the game of crypto, people. This is the game. What have we got? Anything new? Yeah, whatever. What's this one? Yeah, I'm over McAfee, man. So Peck should got it wrong. Do. So I'm looking at the cryptocurrency stuff. Sorry, I keep forgetting I'm live here. It's interesting read. We'll read that later. Okay. Anyway. What else we got? What happened in cryptocurrency today? This guy called Free Speech went online and he was talking about like all this crazy shit. It didn't make any sense. And then he was like explaining why and how people are gonna get rich in crypto, but they don't even know it. And then he read our article, and then he looked at some other, some other executive orders that were signed, and he looked at some McAfee stuff, and he read some emails, and then he made about 5 cents in cryptocurrency while he was doing that because he's farming, possibly more. He doesn't know what to do with his INC token because he's curious which one's going to perform better. He just can't make a decision. He doesn't know which token to buy with his INC. He knows it's going to be income. Doesn't know if he should purchase the amount of cryptocurrency in he doesn't know whether or not to just buy HEX, buy Pulse X, or buy Pulse with it. He just can't make his mind up. He's paralyzed. So while he's paralyzed, he will just continue to get more of the INC. That is what happened in cryptocurrency today. Oh, and the price recovered, across the board. Because apparently, one app released from a country causes an entire market crash. Also, it said that app is actually under like attack right last fucking how many hours it's been. Come on, man. What else to do? X is so quiet. Oh, I got a new follow. I got T-shirt. Who doesn't like T-shares, eh? Thank you, T-share, for giving me a follow. What else we got? What else we got? We got 29 people, man. How can I keep you entertained? It's like Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Memes, GIF, lol. Could go on that. Come on, there's gotta be some news. Memes always funny. It's quite funny. All right. Imagine, imagine Hex being $1. What are we doing, people? If Hex at $1, Pulse Chain at 10x, 100x, Pulse X at probably 1000x, and then INC probably at like 100 to 1000x. Somewhere thereabouts. What are we doing? That's basically infinite money glitch, is it not, at that point in time? Because then well, I'd imagine you'll be rotating from profit taking to stable making farms to free stables, and the free stables you're either selling or you're buying. And I'm not so sure you'd be buying INC. Maybe you would be, but you'd be deciding, okay, am I going to stake Hex? So Hex just keeps going up and to the right, keep getting more of it, or am I going to be providing LP for Hex? So when people do decide to sell, I make some gains from that in the INC. Or do I make some Pulse X, pretty safe play there? Or do I make some Ethereum Pulse farms? Because, they all seem to be going up together. And then, what else? Yeah, Pulse, INC, Pulse X, INC. I just too many decisions. I just can't make up my mind. I just really can't. It's like a kid in a candy store. All right, I'll close out soon. I got nothing more to say. There's just not much going on, people. Like, let's have a look. Do we really want to hear about gold? Not really. Earn phone. What is the earn phone? What? Nah, no thanks. Delete. What do we got? Tech wake up call. What do we got? Deep Seek impact. We all saw what happened. Yeah, that would suck. Your retirement account is just getting wrecked because of one deep sea app. Meanwhile, I'm not downloading all this shit's fucking dope, bro. That's pretty impressive, though. It's a little. I didn't know that. It's a little known Chinese firm came out with AI model that supposedly leapfrog anything out of Silicon Valley. So some little known Chinese military CCP run business rolled out their AI. Like, that's pretty much what happened. Around the same time, there was supposed to be great spending to help AI, perform on a global scale, like crush everything else. Just at that time, the CCP rolls out their like better, cheaper, faster version. Kind of reminds me of when I think it was the US. They basically pointed out and have this really small drill, and they sent it to Japan, be like, "Do you want this drill?" And then Japan put a hole down the drill, and they did with a laser, like, "Nah, we're good." So it's like, hang on, what the hell? So it's like, we got this crazy AI. Do you want it? It's like, his ours is better. It's like, what? Whoa, no way. They can't do that now. And if everything DeepSeek says is true, but yeah. Interesting. Oh, that's pretty wrecked. Don't say that. People are like saying basically what Cisco was like good in the .com along with Microsoft, Intel, and Dell. Then they didn't do so good. What's this? Sales dried up. Revenue ended up falling. And then 3 years later, it's so good. Meanwhile, the price still wasn't equal to its 2000 peak. I did not know that. They used to sell routers. Huh, fascinating. Remember around the time of the Y2K bug. Now, so people are comparing that event to DeepSeek. Okay, so they're saying all this crazy ass like AI we got going on with all that crazy hardware chips, etc. We're gonna make all this money off all these chips. And now it's like, oh crap, now we're gonna have to sell them to gamers instead. Maybe, just maybe. Doesn't that make the chip shortage like not so bad? Because they're like, oh, we'll just use. Is he sharing? DeepSeek engineers getting a 5K bonus after wiping out 1 trillion in the market. Yes. They come home, yes, honey, all right, we're getting the fucking scooter. You. Dude, that's wrecked. All right, what else? So chip companies don't like it. Microsoft or Google. Ooh. You know what we should look at? Let's look at what's that? It's Market Watch, Wall Street Journal. I don't look at this shit for ages. What's happening? We'll look at as well. We'll look at physics. Oh, my time travel machine, people. Hurry up and get my time travel machine fixed. Now, okay, share this tab. No. Sorry, people, this is not very crypto related, but it's kind of crypto related if you consider tech crypto, which apparently it is now. It says here, Nasdaq set to rise as Nvidia attempts to rally back from 600 billion market cap wipeout. Oh, with a B. We're all excited because someone's got $1 billion or what? 600 billion. Can you imagine that injected into cryptocurrency? Into all we need is that one. All we need is for all of us to become billionaires, and then we'll be like, the world will be like Zimbabwe. If everyone, if dollar inflates that hard, dollar climbs. Okay. So we got that. So if you're not in the US, like myself, and things will be looking okay if you're trading one way, but not so good the other way. Huh. Pretty cool. DeepSeek's fallout could threaten. Really? Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. If you analyze it from a geopolitical point of view, when you see DeepSeek as a Chinese shot across, you better not be behind a paywall. As I said, the US was rolling out good investment in AI. So what did China do? They decided to release or let the world know that they have this. And I can't help but think more often than not, retail users of this sort of tech isn't exactly getting the most high end spec of things. It's like I guess it's like getting a car, a new car that is. If you have the money, you can buy some really cool cars. Most people haven't got that money, so they haven't got access to the cars. Shit, I didn't even know where to buy half these cars. There might even be a car yard in my state that has these, so I might even have access to these cars. Let's have a look at what this is saying. This is saying it spooked Wall Street because it was it wasn't, it was out of nowhere. It was supposed to be, there was supposed to be one particular narrative in place. This was the exact counter narrative to that. And not only was it counter narrative in information or release of information, it was like specific to a political esque type of announcement related to AI, related to stock markets, related to your savings accounts through your retirement accounts or your investment accounts, etc., etc. Everything's quite intertwined in regards to like financial markets if you like really look into it. This is why I find this stuff so fascinating, because when I used to look into particular stocks such as rare earths, then I discovered that some things were being held back because some countries didn't want the rare earths to be produced. I'm like, hang on, there's more to stocks than earnings ratios and PE ratios, and like there's actual like geopolitical like intertwinement in all of this. This is fascinating, and this is why I'm like sort of a conspiracy loon bird, because I find this stuff extremely interesting when you really do think about it. Because, like I said, I heard there was big spending on AI not that long ago, and around the same time, this took place. Just like as there was a company drilling for gas or something in Ukraine, and of course, what took place, I think it was around the Crimea area, and apparently around the same time, little frogmen appeared, and they decided to take over the area. And of course, that company could not function because, um, because Russia's leaders went mad and insane and decided to invade it. It's like, okay, you can't tell me there's not something going on there in regards to that particular equity that was looking for like hydrocarbons, whatever they're called now, which is oil, gas, whatever. So yeah, see, they launched a public version of the model during Trump's first week, and that's not an accident. This guy said, former director of strategy policy, Department of Defense. There you go, of the AI Center for Street and International Studies. The technological innovation is real. DeepSeek is doing legitimately impressive things. So it's not like just a narrative, a fake narrative. It's actually like its logic is superior. Trying to persuade the incoming Trump administration to export controls at work. Let's have a look. People are saying the Sputnik moment, analyzing its release. So it is unsuccessful. It's one of the first artificial shuttle space race that come out of America landing on the moon 12 years later. Okay, so 12 years later, right? What are we going into, people? This is what I'm saying. Bitcoin has hit its 15-year anniversary, past its 15-year birthday. It's into its 16th year. We're now entering into the whole strategic reserve fund Bitcoin, which could like send the price to like $1 million per Bitcoin, and and allow it to function as like a semi-core component, a small core component. I'm not sure if small core is a thing. As a component in the legacy financial system embedded within the US. Okay, that's kind of big after like 16 years. And so where's AI? When did ChatGPT come out? Wasn't that a year ago, 2 years ago now? And now we're seeing the AI race that's being released publicly. Remember, Tesla's like basically a research company for AI. That's probably like their side gig, when you think about it, because I'm telling you, it's not a human pilot piloting those rockets that are landing themselves. It's no easy feat, I would imagine. But this here, so we have here the Technological National Security Program at the Center for American Security. Said interview that analogy is flawed because, unlike Sputnik, the DeepSeek launch should indicate the US is on the right track with AI policy. Okay. So it's really important not to react without understanding the deeper context of these things, because that's what China wants us to do. So it really is a battle. Like, Okay. They're trying to move the new administration away from export controls to a much more favorable set of conditions for them. The Biden administration instituted export controls that blocked the sale of some advanced microchips to China. So this is what I was saying before. They blocked the chips, right? And now they're just like, we don't need the most recent chips to create better AI than you guys have. Like they sent a clear message just then. If you ask me, is it heaps better? I don't know, but the amount of money being poured in, arguably, the good old argument that China uses espionage to steal great masses of its tech, and you see the documented that certain parts appear to be not stolen, but the tech seems to be very familiar with like their jets. And the guys in the US are like, that shit looks so familiar on their jet. Where did they get that? It's like all the billions and billions and trillions of dollars being spent in developing that shit, and then someone steals all that tech, and then they build the same shit for a fraction of a penny, and they're like, "Oh, nah, China can't build nothing." It's like, man, those things look like they would work because there's anyway. Going off a bit of a tangent there. Eh? So when you think about it, basically, there was much more than a mere. What took place was much more than a mere app that got released. It was almost like a strategic, I don't know what you call it, a strategic poke from the Chinese at the US saying our AI is better than your AI. And that then flowed on to affect markets, which happened to then flow on to affect my beloved cryptocurrency, which made me sad. But at the same time, I get to play with the cool tech, which is open source. So it's not too bad. Also, it gave me a dip, so maybe I could buy the dip. I don't know. And I don't really believe that the price of cryptocurrency was affected that heavily by such an app being released that was open source. To me, it seemed like institutional investors sort of eat up these narratives, gobble that shit up, and they make decisions based on this. And this is why I always thought it's interesting, because if you can influence someone to do something, but don't think that someone hasn't thought of that, and then on top of that, imagine if you could influence a whole neighborhood. Then imagine if you could influence a whole world or a whole sector of investors. Would you not then have complete control over them, and they would believe everything you say? And then, lo and behold, something I didn't think of till just now. Imagine if you're analyzing that, watching from the side, then you figure out how to sabotage that. So you see all these prices going up, you interject something that could affect that, and then the price goes down. God forbid you are on the wrong side of that trade. Oh, that's some savage shit, isn't it? So that what would be good to watch? Who's trading on the opposite side of that? So who was shorting this shit before this happens? Like, they fucking knew. The Chinese, bro. The traders, bro. Or maybe they're being watched. Maybe the watchers are being watched. Ooh, and they made money off of that shit. That's the sort of thing you can think about if you get a bit bored or something. But yeah, now so claiming. Let's have a look. Makes you wonder though, like the chip limitation, is it actually affecting? It does, yeah. It is. This is a bit of a slight concern, because they say everything's built into. There's backdoors to the NSA to all your computers and shit, like the camera, the microphone. It's like a battle for the backdoors now. So you can't do that. So that's what we do. So wait, what? I think that's fucking that movie lays all that stuff out. Now it was like AI becomes a model of choice for making research. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if one day, it's a hard coded in, like, you look up Tenement Square. It's like, oh, why can't we find that out? Oh, no reason. Need classified. I think I showed you you guys the stream, it was like pointing out that when you ask who's the leader, DeepSeek is like says the Chinese pilot, it just glitches out and goes, well, we can't answer the question. So yeah, there is the thing is there is bias built in. So maybe you could open source it, crack it open and be like, all right, remove the biases. Anyway, now let's just think of something else. So let's have a look. Yeah, see, it says the Trump administration is likely to respond to DeepSeek by doubling down on its private sector strategy, which in Stargate. Maybe that's what the announcement was in regards to AI. Maybe, huh? What do you think of that? Do. What's this Stargate AI dreams? I can't believe you guys are watching me watch Market Watch. Yeah, this one, 500 billion. I remember, billion AI projects is smoking mirrors and Bankonomics and China's AI Thunderbolt. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it was pointed out that, like I said, there was going to be a huge investment in AI, and then as this huge investment that's so successful, it's going to be the best, comes out, China comes in, drops like a little mini nuke, be like, our shit's better than yours, and it's cheaper, and it's faster, more efficient. You just wasted all that money. That's fucking savage. I mean, I should probably go through and actually read what this says instead of just like reading the headline. We're like, oh, and making like a complete assumption based on everything. But to me, that's what I was already thinking, and that's what I was talking about before. There was a large announcement in regards to artificial intelligence, AI. Now, what have we got? What else can I bring you, people? Yeah, there's something coming. I don't know I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know what it is. It's freaking me out a little bit. Not too bad though, because I'm not in the. Oh, I just want to go check my superannuation, how that's going. With this big pullback, might be a good time to buy some, invest some, maybe. Nope, not that one. We're going to some health kick stuff, but I think you guys care about that. What's Britta doing? It's recovering. I just don't know. It doesn't make sense to me except for institutional money selling. Why? Like, I thought, I thought it would have been good to see. Everyone's like, oh, it's the risk off asset, risk on asset. When things are risky, we go into crypto. I was like, hang on. That's a pretty good narrative. That sounds a lot like legacy finance shit to me, bro. Who's talking that? Why are they talking that for? I think we should build our own shit and make our own narratives because we are better. And we should do it in not just people should do it not just in the US but around the world, because hopefully they get promoting and protecting the ability of individual citizens and private sectors alike to access and use for local purposes like blockchain networks without persecution, including the ability to develop software to participate in mining, validating, transact without the person without unlawful censorship, and maintaining self-custody of digital assets. Maybe, just maybe, right? And then maybe one day we'll wake up and the price of HEX will be like $100. Be like, yeah, you're printing out $100 bills for even cheaper than. Actually, I don't know how much it would cost. Arguably cheaper than printing out, money from whatever country you come from. Very cool. So our internet money is better than your internet money. No. Now we'll have a quick look at physics.org, because there's some cool stuff in physics.org. I find 483 error. Fuck off. Breaking Solana. No, not today. Oh, here we go. They're still talking about this DeepSeek thing, man. They fucking love it. bunch of old guys sitting around going, "Did you hear the fucking Chinese AI is better than that shit? The fuck? Sell this shit, short this shit, then sell it, then buy back more of it." Now, I'm surprised people are still here. Thank you for tuning in. If there's anything in the chat you want me to talk about specifically, let me know. All right, let me know. If not, I want to ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble. Because I find when I'm doing this, it's good for the mind. It's therapeutic. Physics. Where do we go? Oh, it sounds like some cool shit. Experimental system bring quantum technology closer to students. Ooh. I can't wait till we get like just insane tech. We just have like panels, solar panels are just super thin, just stick on everywhere, and just like batteries that are tiny that just like last forever and shit. That'd be crazy. It's like the best I could think of. Cheaper everything, you know. And then they figure out how to like just reuse all this shit, so they don't have to like keep mining the shit from the ground, because I'm pretty sure at some stage we're gonna run out of shit. We're gonna be a big old Mars. Ripped everything out the ground. It's like all the stuff that the plants need to grow. It's like, hang on, shit. We shouldn't have done that. Cut down the last tree. Fuck. Now, quantum computer efficiently suppresses errors with two. Ooh. What the fuck? Come on, where's my time travel? I know we got time travel. See, we're like, why aren't crypto bags pumping, and people are working on like physics proposed bridge strategy to stabilize quantum networks. Can you imagine the first quantum blockchain? Can you imagine the hype over that shit? I think we should call Pulse Chain. Not advertise, because I'm like, oh, it's false advertising. No, I think we should be. We are the first quantum fucking blockchain in the world. So why are you quantum? Because if you look at it, it acts different if you don't look at it. That's why. So is it Schrodinger's the double split experiment, whatever? If you don't look at the price, shit goes up. If you look at the price, shit goes down. When you said disappear, what the yeah, that would suck. Have a time travel machine. It's like you can go, but you can never come back because the portal closes and you shift to a different dimension. Too bad. What? A stable would be a different state. So what runs on the quantum network then? The key resides in adding a sufficient number of connections to ensure the network continues to function. The research found adding too many connections come at a high cost. Okay. Overburning. Okay. Too few connections, fragmented network. Cannot satisfy user demand. What are they using this shit for? Whoa, quantum. I like this. Lightning fast computing and ultra secure communications. It was not quantum blockchain. What the hell? We're not running our quantum blockchains on like our little home computer. Imagine that. It's like, so how do you secure your network? Like your little PC thing. See, this shit here, right? AI predicts optical properties to speed up discovery of energy in quantum materials. Like, this is what, if AI is correct, and we can actually prove it's correct, this is, I think, maybe the cool tech we're going to discover over time. It will be things like AI that discover it before humans, because they can compute so much more. Then once we discover it, then we harness the energy to get off the planet, explore the world, make the planet better, clean up the pollution, and maybe hit that type 1 civilization, right? through simple machine learning. Could be wrong. So we're here. So, and then of course, after someone does this, the Chinese will come out and be like, "Oh yeah, we did this, but it's cheaper and faster and better." Like, you bastards. Any reason? Is that place sufficient? Everyone's into building larger, better quantum. Ooh, and the globe. Okay. But as soon as it opens up, it burns down. It's like crossing a bridge and burning down behind you. Without intervention, that will quickly dismantles. That's crazy. Tackle this problem, we develop simple bridges, links. Ooh. How are they using this shit? Complex systems. I like the sound of that. The fuck? What's this shit? Complex system. So a complex system is a scientific field which studies the common properties of systems that are considered fundamentally complex. Such systems may exist in nature, society, science, and many other fields, also called complex systems theory. Complexity science, studying complex systems, sciences of complexity, non-equilibrium physics, and historical physics. Key problems of such systems are difficulties in their formal modeling and simulation. See, complex systems. I would say cryptocurrency is a complex system as a whole, especially all the trades that take place on and off chain. From such perspective, in different research contexts, complex systems are defined on the base of their different attributes. Since all complex systems have many interconnected components, the science of networks and network theory are always important aspects of the study of complex systems. At present, the consensus related to one universal definition of complex system does not yet exist. At present, in closing, at present, the consensus related to one universal definition of complex systems does not yet exist. It's so complex, there's no definition for it. Holy shit. How are you supposed to then forecast a complex system? And you can't tell me the financial system isn't goddamn complex and cryptocurrency isn't complex. Oh my God, I love that. That's fucking awesome. That's savage. Now, what else we got? If you guys get bored, have a look at physics.org and it will like blow your mind. Okay, now pinpointing the magic number to better understand network pay. They found the shortest, most efficient path. Okay. I have to explain this problem. They found the critical number is just the square root of the number of its users. What? I'm telling you, mathematics, man, is like a language in itself. There's no way someone invented math. It's like we're just defining the language that exists. Like 369. If there are 1 million users, for example, then 1,000. It's literally the square root. Are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck? You can't tell me that's not like some maths, like Da Vinci Code shit. It would be natural to expect that this number increases linearly with the number of users, or maybe quadratically as the number of users pair that can communicate. Codec still be found a critical number actually is it's a very small fraction compared to the number of users. But if you add fewer than that, that will fall apart. Oh, people not communicate. That would suck. Which is formation potentially could use help design optimize robust quantum network that can relate failures. And new links could be automatically added and other links disappear, creating a more resilient network. The classical internet was not built. See, here we go. This is why I find this interesting because it relates to the internet, which is also a complex system, in my opinion. And can you imagine how do you verify what you're seeing on the internet is exactly the same as what someone else is seeing? That would be crazy, right? What do we got here? Who we got here? The Ascending Man. Math is the language of the universe. We just discovered it existed. I couldn't agree more, man. Like the Ascending Man, I could not even. Math is the language of the universe. I can't agree more. It doesn't make sense that we created mathematics. It's like 1+1 = 2. I'm telling you. On how many on how many what's it called? But then, what if in a different parallel universe the mathematics is different? Then what the fuck? And like, what if the parallel universes that exist are subject to the maths in which they reside? Like, what if there's like, classical internet, the classical internet was not built to be fully robust. It naturally emerged due to technical constraints and user behavior. It was not designed. It just happened. No, I'm pretty. Who designed it? Wasn't it DARPA or some shit? Now, but now we can do better with the quantum internet. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Once we can we design it to ensure it reaches full potential. So I was kidding, but imagine quantum blockchain, like the internet that runs on a quantum version of the internet. I don't know if that makes sense, but then just everything else like just works. That would be pretty cool. Now, what do we got? So I read about that. Now, latent information carried by photons that was super fast. Oh, I love the sound of that shit. Telling you, man, there's like a computer somewhere crunching out all this shit that already knows all of this shit. If you connect AI to this, isn't it like the Matrix where you just upload everything and it understands straight away? So automatically AI is already smarter than like everyone in the world, I would say, if it actually understands it. But it's like, how do you prove it? Let's test it. Wait, we have to code it. It's like, okay. That is crazy. So these are new too, like new articles, like relatively new. Like in November, so we're going to be old now. Ooh, complexity. Ooh, all right, UN. I tap out on that one. And what else we got? Hummingbird flower mites. That's pretty cool. Legumes which are healthy. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, this is pretty wrecked though. Microplastics found in the brains of mice within hours of consumption. What the fuck are they eating? So you know how they say you got like microplastics in your like nuts? Maybe we're not kidding. When you eat it, consume it, obviously. Chinese Research Academy. Microplastics consumed by mice just a few hours to get into your brain, to their brains. Oh, don't eat microplastics, people. That shit is so bad for you. And see, this is why this stuff I find interesting, is because prior research has shown that microplastics have made their way into the environment to such an extent that they have made their way into the bodies of nearly everyone on Earth. So you have potentially got microplastics in your brain, knees, and toes. But you know what's telling you about that though? Is I don't know. Unofficial manner. Don't listen to me. I'm some conspiracy loombo on the internet. Seriously, don't listen to me, people. Listen to me, people. What harm consumption of such material cause, but in the medical field, they believe they're likely causing damage that is blamed on other sources. Oh, so we need AI to scan us for microplastics and how to break down microplastics, and maybe we'll live healthier and longer. Or maybe we can figure out how to I don't know. Here we go. And then it goes on to say here, these actions should be taken globally to address the impact. But like, you tell people this, And they're gonna think you are the biggest fucking loon bird in the planet, on the world, in the world. If you say, "Did you know scientists say there's enough evidence to agree that there's microplastics everywhere?" You're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, sure, bro." I'm like, "No, I I read this on physics.org. Like, actually read it." But yeah, I'm not like a scientist, so you should listen to me, obviously. Now, I just read the. No, anyway. Writing the journal Science, an international group of experts say need forward action to tackle all forms. Microplastics. Holy shit. What is this stuff? It's clear that existing national legislation alone is insufficient to address the challenge, they say. United Nations Plastic Pollution Treaty, which will undergo a fifth round of the deliberations, presents a tangible opportunity to join up. Yeah, but see, okay, what are you trying to say here? However, it needs to commit an overall reduction in plastic. It's like, so the people that don't partake in this, all the microplastics will be shipped there, and there'll be no regulation there. So all of it will end up in all of the food supply because they're probably going to the ocean or some shit, and the fish will eat it, and then we all eat the fish, and then we'll all be fucked. Failing to do so, researchers add could bring a high risk of reverse environmental damage. Okay, not good. What is microplastic? See, the microplastics to describe microplastic fragments of plastics in an ocean. Told you. But no one listens. Both studies were led by Professor Richard Thompson, though, yeah. But again, not like, yeah, it's okay. A very low IQ, don't worry, people. Now, International Marine Litter Research Unit. It's co-authored by experts. How the fuck do we stop it then? We send it all to Mars or something? Send it to the moon? The research is clear evidence sample effect of microplastic. Can you imagine all the shit we find in the mine up? It's like some other planet sends it here because it's like harmful. Like all these, anyway, physical harm to wildlife, society, and culture as a growing evidence-based harm. What the fuck, contaminants, man? They're virtually impossible to remove. Oh, that sounds good and healthy. Isn't that, I don't want to say the fast food chain where I'm thinking of with the McNuggets that have microplastics, but I can't help but think of that right now. At the same time, I can't help but think of eating some McNuggets. Now, let's return to it. Since I first studied the amount of plastic, the ocean has increased 50. Oh, that's bad, man. See, I don't want that. Get that shit out of the ocean. Microplastics. I might have to like upload this onto like Pulse Chain. Be like, I am an environmentalist. What do you mean? I don't want microplastic in my nuts or my brain. I've been kind in more than aquatic and terrestrial species in the food we drink and consume, and multiple tissues and organs. Oh, that can't be good, right? We're not supposed to eat microplastics. That's right. A number that could double by 2040. So by the time your 15-year steaks come out, people, just think about all the microplastics you probably breathed in along the way. That's just correct. Oh, okay. And plastic pollution is completely caused by humans. Okay. This is why we need research on perceptions of risk and benefits. What? Where is these microplastics coming from? Why is anyone telling me how to avoid microplastics? Like, do I need? Okay, I'm gonna have to ask DeepSeek how to avoid microplastics. It'll be like, send it over to the US. Like, hang on, wait, what? It's pretty specific. Send it over to Australia. No, wait, DeepSeek. Why are you saying that for? Um, now, where is it? Ooh, oh, here we go. Quantum internet. Okay, so I'm not kidding about my quantum blockchain. Here we go. Here we go. This is going to be good. Test of a prototype of quantum internet runs on New York City for half a month. Ooh. After 1 second, the network collapses. No, you gotta like log back every 1 second. To introduce quantum networks, the marketplace engineers must overcome. I think I did that once with the fucking LAN network. I sent it into a loop. It was so low. I think a large step forward by operating just under. Okay, while others transmitted entangled protons before, there's been too much noise and polarization drift with fiber environment and entangled to survive. Fuck did they use? Particularly a long-term stable network. This is well. Okay. For their prototype to work, they used 3.4. So they used fiber. Okay, so light. Didn't they find that shit in like Roswell or something? And then long after they figured out they could send information across like lights and hence fiber optic or something. Again, that's a conspiracy theory, but I don't know. Sounds kind of plausible. They called the Gotham Q loop using polarized entangled photons that operated a loop for 15 continuous days, achieving look at that 99.84% uptime. How did it fail? Compensation. Entangled photon pairs, transmitted rate of 20,000 per second, half a million entangled. What the fuck? So what they're running? You can have quantum internet. Is that what I'm reading here, or is it like too much of a head fuck? Too expensive. This may be easy to understand with a wave picture of light. Okay. So to help understand, we shall click on their link. Ooh. What the fuck? Unpolarized, polarized, polarized filter. And oh my god, what did you do? You bastard. Here we go. The polarize of a photon is the direction of the electric field. This may be easy to understand. You're perhaps familiar with the phenomenon of polarization. Polarized sunglasses, yes, Ray-Bans, which are filters that let light from one polarization direction through but block out others, thus cutting down the glare. Oh, so that's the shit I'm seeing when I'm driving around. Ooh. Polarized photons are useful because they're easy to create, simple to manipulate. Oh, okay, so they run it through the filters. Ooh, measure, okay. So that's the quantum internet. Look at that. Quantum internet, people. You seen that shit before? That is very cool. I don't know if it's a prototype, what that is. Entangled photons have been used in recent years to build large-scale quantum repeaters. Oh, quantum computing and distributed quantum network sensing network. Quantum entanglement, subject to 220 Nobel Prize in Physics. Huh, I did not know that. That's kind of recent. Particular quantum phenomena in which particles with a quantum state have a connection, sometimes a long distance one, such that measuring the property of one automatically determines the properties of others, which is entangled. Okay. So in their design, an infrared photon of wavelength of nanometers is entangled. Lighter photons comparable to wavelength bandwidth atomic systems such as quantum memories, quantum processors. It was found that polarization drift was wavelength and time dependent, requiring QNECT. Low. Fucking so low. To design and build, that's pretty cool. To design and build equipment for active compensation at the same wavelengths. Man, that would suck so hard to build those things. If like you're across the planet and then the shit moves like 1 millimeter, like, oh, everything's fucked now. To generate these. God, can you imagine that? But then again, you could just get AI to build some shit and it would probably do it and it would probably work and self-maintain. And then coupled input beams a certain way they're sent. What? 3p orbital at 6. What the fuck? I don't even know what this means. Top exact stage. Okay, another photon. They sent 1324 nano. What the fuck? NM? Newton meters? Surely it can't be Newton meters. It's going to be something else. Polarization entangled photons pairs quantum superior with the 511 state. Both parts are known as Bell state. Ooh, that sounds familiar. In such superposition, the quantum mechanical photon pairs of both states at the same time. All those crazy like scientists from back in the day to like get their hand like on Einstein to be alive now to tell me what this shit is. But I have a bad feeling that if Einstein was alive now, he probably wouldn't be able to use his smartphone too well. So that would be a shame, if you know what I mean. Now, in optical cables such as photon systems are moving prone to see they're prone to disturbances. That's wrecked. That is not that's not usable. Yeah, see, this will say that the bending and fluctuations in pressure and temperature in the cable can require frequent recalibrations. It'd be like constant, because these types of disturbances can be almost impossible to detect and then isolate and then mitigate. And I'm pretty sure it sounds like what's that shit? Electromagnetic waves might interfere with it as well. Magnets and shit as well. The QNEC team built automated polarization compensation devices. Okay, cool. So by sending classical not entangled photon pairs, why not entangle? With known polarizations down to the fiber, they could measure how much their polarization drifted or was. What the fuck? That's crazy. Polarization drift was measured at 4 transmissions, 0, 34, 69, 102 kilometers by sending classical photon 0, 1, 2, 3 times around the metropolitan loop under the streets of Brooklyn and Queens. They used this is pretty cool. How does no one hear about this anyway? They used the APC to correct the polarization of the entangled pairs. QNEC's Gotham IQ loop demonstrates was especially noteworthy for its duration. The hands-off nature of the operation time and its uptime percentage showed they wrote progress towards fully automated practical entanglement network. That's pretty cool. The thing is, what do they send down these things, you know? That would be required for a quantum internet. Namazi says, since we finished this work, we have already made all parts rack mounted, so they've used everywhere combined equipment, what they call QVAL. That's pretty cool. But what it does is, did it function as an internet, or is it just like they're sending the fucking light signals down? I feel like they were just sending light signals down and then measuring it. That's what I feel, because it's a prototype, as opposed to actual like, I don't know, like Pirate Bay or something. Or like Pornhub. I got some quantum porn, bro. Now, all right, so running out of things to think about. But I gotta say, with you guys here, it is helping me think. All right, share this tab. We got Bitcoin. We got GoPulse. We got GoPulse is it's holding steady. There's not too much more on the X news. Maybe you'll have a little nap, wake up, and see what's happening. New wallet. What the fuck is that? Yeah, that's funny. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, someone came in with what? 500,000 almost. Bridge to post chain. Oh, they got some EDI. All right, so while they do that across the quantum the quantum crypto, the quantum blockchain is post chain. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, nice. There we go. But that's actually that's pretty interesting to see 500,000 like come in. Is it not? Let's have a look at the TX. I can't help but think I might have to use this like deep seek to fucking create some like cool stuff. I don't know what to create there, people. What should we create? Let's create a quantum fucking network, eh? No? What can we create? Quantum HEX. Oh, Australian crypto unicorn Bitpanda receives MiCA license. Oh, Australia. Excuse me. Ooh, what's gonna happen? Do I look at the recipients? Shit. Fuck. This is some quantum crypto, bro. This is state of the art. Not like being disrespectful, but you know what I mean? Like, people are working on quantum internet fucking networks, and we are worried about the price go up. What's this shit? Should we try and track live on stream? Live on stream. Thank you for tuning in. There's not much happening. We just missed out on the breakdown of the quantum internet and its prototype, which ran. I'm very surprised. What else? Deep seek. Blah blah blah. Microplastics bad. Quantum internet prototypes apparently are a thing, and wouldn't surprise me if anyway fermented clothing, liquid crystals enable. What the fuck? Look at this shit. Plant-based substitute for you just like okay. Unknown modes of action for known drugs, high throughputs, range reveals potential side effects. What? Injectable hydrogen. Look at this shit. Injectable hydrogel? Like, is this an ad or is this energy super complex? Promises better options for heart disease. This is pretty good. Science uncover biomaker for high risk of mental. Pretty good. Hybrid models predict best tech for slash industrial. Pretty good. And like shit just keeps getting better. Ooh. Keeping the steps of cell division in line, researching. That was pretty good. I'm still waiting for a cure for hair loss, man. I saw one thing there, it's like some sugar pill. I'm like, what the fuck? No way, like, sugar pill. Super Earth discovery. Ooh, keep people sustain life. Ooh, outbursts from black holes help them sustain themselves. Animal bone cameras off new. That's pretty cool. Let's look at this one. 21 hours ago. This will be good. This will be good. Meme spread conspiracy. Alright, so the conspiracy theory is microplastics are bad. It's everywhere. Quantum internet is there's a prototype that exists, and there was another one. I can't remember what it was. We're reading something. But memes spread conspiracy theories by uniting online groups. Low memes are harmless and have nothing to do with conspiracy theories. Actually, oh my, that's hilarious. Am I just saying this, or is this just me? I can't read this. I'm pretty sure I know what they're getting at. They're like, let's do an experiment and let's see how much stuff we can, create through memes. Like top of shit. MOK shit, bro. MOK 2.0. Memes are found. 243 pro themes. Okay, now okay, let's read. Okay. What? Meme spread conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theory HEX has gone to $1. A new study finds a sinister side to memes, pointing to their role in strengthening online communities of conspiracy theorists. Shared photos and videos that reinforce a conspiracist worldview have a role in building a sense of tribalism and collective opinion within online conspiracy theorist communities. According to research on the University of Bath School of Management, they got nothing else to do with this. The study breaks new ground by analyzing the cultural role of memes in online conspiracy communities, published in the Journal of Social Media Society. PhD research from Bath Institute for Digital Security and Behaviors IDSB said we formed this study that memes play a significant role in reinforcing the culture of online conspiracy theorist communities. Members gravitate towards memes that validate their conspiracy worldwide worldview. And these memes become an important part of their storytelling. Their simple, shareable format and enables a rapid share of harmful beliefs. Bro. See, anyway. Using data from Reddit, a widely used discussion platform and a hotspot for conspiracy theories, to research analyze 141 memes across two internet subreddits about COVID-19 between 2020 and 2022. Memes were found to fall into three broad themes within online conspiracy theory community: deception by authorities and conspirators, delusion among the public, and superiority of conspiracy believers who see themselves as committed to free thinking. It's kind of interesting. The research compiled a list of the top recurring memes, themes, and characters. Many recognizable for mainstream media social network. NPC Wojak is the number one gray expressionist non-player character. I didn't even know who these. Like, I didn't know that was who that person is. It's like Thank you. They researched that. That's who NPC Wojak is. Who depicts a lack of agency. Drake posting at number 6, featuring Drake from the 2015 Hotline Bling music video to depict approval disapproval. Distracted boyfriend at number 10, featuring a man walking with his girlfriend, turning back to. Oh my god, they've broken down all the fucking. They've just told us all the best memes to use. Hang on, let's have a look. I'm not even kidding. It's like, what memes do you need to use? These ones. Oh, come on. Show me the fucking memes. Oh, couldn't they have? It would have been good if they listed them all. Maybe here. Ah. See, I thought they wanted to show them all, but they're talking about which one. Now, a good one who's a funny PhD, communication of conspiracy theories online. Oh, that would be a very interesting study. I might get my PhD in conspiracy theory. Senior research associate at the University of Bristol said the broad themes create an overreaching framework of understanding that guides members through conversations about collective concerns. Because of this, actors are bound to disagreements that crop up, reducing the potential for fracture over minor differences. The cohesion allows dangerous ideologies to take root and flourish. Dr. Britt Davidson, Associate Professor of Analytics at IDSB and co-author, said the humor of memes typically based on the ridicule of critical leads to the public is likely a key driver in attracting new members to these groups. I don't know if that's true, man. I think shit's just funny, and you guys just fair enough. You get your PhD on this. It's crazy. That's pretty cool. Including people who may be unaware of full context of the impact of misinformation because they think it's funny. The researchers say more research into the changing landscape of digital expression is crucial to understand how memes tools not only for cultural spread and inattentiveness, but also for stability of conspiracy theorists communities. They say future could consider how emojis, hashtags, or online rituals. And oh my god. Okay. Look at this shit. They got like full on. How deep does the rabbit hole go, people? How much time do we have? Now, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to just ignore that and recognize that that's kind of funny. But I found the nanoplastics to be interesting. I did find the quantum internet setup to be interesting as well. What else, people? What else? What have we got? DeepSeek is causing havoc in the share market. Oh my god. Durable goods. Ask DeepSeek about this. All right, what do we got? We got Dow, S&P, Europe. Everything's back up. Everything's bouncing, people. I'm not sure I can talk about this. Look at the Australian dollar. Oh my god, it's getting decimated. We got the rates. The treasuries. These have treasuries up here, didn't they? Futures. We got gold. We got silver. Silver's doing nothing. Oh my god, crude oil. Where's that West Texas crude? Crypto. 102K. So let's wait. Let's look at the futures. Let's look at where is it? Yeah, the futures. Let's look at the futures market. Here we have oil that everything runs on. No, it's off the top. Dow Jones. Okay. Oh, Nasdaq's crashing. Oh, actually, it's not. Okay, gold we get from the ground and we use it as a store of value. Similar with silver, can be used in other things to produce goods. Crude oil we generally have big, massive wars over, and we use it to drive around and create microplastics, which are destroying us all. Now, these things are $2,730.73 per unit. Crypto, we have Bitcoin created by Satoshi Nakamoto at 102K, which serves no purpose other than price go up. We have Ethereum, XRP, how dare you? Solana, Dogecoin, how dare you? Cardano, how dare you? This is the world I'm living in. What the fuck? Dogecoin is on mark. I didn't know that. Like, okay. Okay, and you think Hex isn't going to like $100 and Pole Chain isn't going to like $1 or something? I have news for you, Market Watch. Let's have a look. Lockheed sales are growing. Couldn't imagine that. Wonder why that is. No. Why would a war company make money off of endless war? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, people. Why the IRS is coming to tax your cryptocurrency? This will be good. Let's read this. Is this recent? Tax bomb. Oh, it's needs thingy. What do you mean coming for you? Anyway. Mm-hmm. All right, that's about it. Thank you for tuning in, people. I am blocking some weird shit. Is it? Oh yeah. What's it called? The mathematics. We need to crack the mathematics code. Now, anything else new on my inbox for you guys? Don't think there is. I need to go to bed, people, because it is kind of getting late where I am. So hopefully, when I wake up, HEX will be $100 and all my problems will go. Oh no, wait! Before we go, let's track this. Where was it? Someone bridged in what 100, half a million? That's fucking savage, right? So we'll just see if we can track. Let's use my investigation skills. So we look at the thing, takes us to this thing, which gives us the thing into the here, into the here. Eternal proxy storage proxy. Ooh. Token bridge. Recipient. Oh wait, hang on. Is that 17 minutes? So it might be that it needs time to do its thing. So it will appear on the thing, and then the thing will be able to show me the thing. And when I click on the thing's not appearing. Come on. Okay, let's have a look where it's going today. And this is the way the Pole Chain does its thing. I'll tidy up some of that. Scroll over here. Just reminding everyone that the protection and proportionality of individual citizens and private sector entities alike to access and use for lawful purposes open blockchain, public blockchain networks without persecution, including the ability to develop and to deploy software to participate in mining and validating to transact with other persons without unlawful consensorship and to maintain self-custody of digital assets. Now, if I was reading this and I was, looking at persecution of some of these aspects, I might be thinking, what is going on here? My life might be wrong. Anyway, now go to here. We share this tab instead, and go to do from successful balances. Okay, so there's the E die. I'll say the E die. Oh, is the E die has it landed? Has it landed? Has it landed, people? Let's have a look. I think it has from. Is it? I don't know. I can't even use this fucking. Oh my god! Let's have a look. Click on this randomly. Show portfolio and hex scout. Let's do that. We'll try to do that. Is that a shit ton of? Well, that's a shit ton of posts, I believe. Do you want some? Portfolio. Copy paste, drop that in. There, into the search, hex scout. That's pretty cool. So pulse chain, apex win, kind of cool. And then hex scout, also kind of cool. And then we have, for some reason, 244. So I've lost 244,000 fucking pulse chain. Where's this shit? Okay, and then we'll go this one. Anyway, it appears to be in the holdings of. Look at that. No, wait, what? That's not it. The fuck? Where's this one? 243. Interesting. Well, we can just salivate over that now, can't we? Just sit on that and watch it grow. Oh, yeah. All right, that's enough of that. All right, let's close this one out. Thank you all for staying with me this long. Yeah, pulse chain's not going anywhere. Hex is not going anywhere. And you see my cursor up here. What do we got? That's about it. Unless there's anything absolutely insane that's happening right now, I might get back to what I was doing. Remember, microplastics are a thing. Quantum blockchain is coming. When I say that, I mean quantum internet, most likely. Of some sort. Just say fiber optics is quantum, fuck it. All right.